Hello everyone, welcome to Gary Mac Studio. Today I want to do a little study on I drove down through Forest Park in Fort Worth and I drove by this duck pond and I thought, wow, this was back during the fall a couple of months ago. And I took a couple of pictures. I wish I'd had my paints with me. I'd done a plein air painting of it, a study. And that's all this is. It's just a study. So I'm gonna go over how I do this is acrylics, and I want to show you how I apply my acrylics. Everybody has their own technique, and I do a lot of washes with them, a whole lot of watercolor techniques, and then some places it'll be like I would apply oils. So I use watercolor techniques and I use oil techniques with these acrylics. And right there you can see that's pretty much a wash like you would with a watercolor. It's just real thin. But all I'm trying to do now is get some paint on the canvas. This is going to be the underpainting. And then I'll start putting the detail in here in just a little while. And this is going to go pretty fast. I probably won't spend more than 30-45 minutes on the whole thing, maybe an hour in real time, hour and a half in real time total. But I've got this sped up on like three times the speed. But you guys watch and we'll just see how this turns out. But it was a beautiful little place. And I'd been by there many times. And that Fort Worth Forest Park, it's got this huge zoo. In fact, I hadn't checked lately, but a couple of years ago, it was rated the #1 zoo in the nation, and it's really something else. And this is a big park. It's probably a couple of miles north to south, and the Trinity River runs right through it. It runs right downtown Fort Worth, and Forest Park is just right west of downtown Fort Worth. And that river that runs through there, it's just a beautiful park. A lot of people visit there. It's just covered in these big old huge pecan trees. And I've painted several pictures of that around there. This is the first time I've painted this duck pond. So on my acrylics, like I say, right now I'm just getting some background, just getting some color on the canvas. And here in a little bit, you'll see how I start putting the detail in and getting a composition set where it'll bring out some depth in the painting. And I've kind of got my vanishing point right back in there where that river kind of vanishes right back in there, pretty much in the center of that. And that pond just wound all the way around, all around there. And those are concrete. It had concrete banks. It's all concrete. And it's got some boardwalks on it that you can walk out on and watch the ducks and feed the ducks and the geese. I didn't see any swans. I don't think there's any swans on that pond. They may be, but I didn't pay that much attention. I just snapped a few pictures and left. But y'all hang in there and watch, and let's just see what happens here. And everyone, please subscribe to Gary Mac Studio and hit the likes button if you would. It sure would be appreciated. So it won't cost you nothing. Just click the button. Now, note right here, all that paint just dabbled in the background there. It just smudges the paint everywhere. But watch how they kind of come to life here when I start putting in the trunks and tree limbs, and it just makes all the difference in the world of how those things look. It brings them to life. Let's see how those tree limbs and once you get that in there, you don't really pay attention to all that muddled up paint in the background because your focus starts coming in on what you see first, and the first thing you see are those tree trunks, and then your eyes just kind of dance around the rest of the canvas. So I don't spend a lot of time on those in the background. I spend most of my time on these in the foregrounds in what I'm doing right here, right now. Because that's what you're going to see, and that's what brings it to life, and brings everything into perspective. The banks of this pond it's all concrete, and when I do a bigger canvas of this, I'll get more detail on this concrete. But right now, I'm just trying to get a composition together. And like I said, I'm not going to put a lot of detail in this, but we'll just get what I can in this, and then on the big canvas, I'll do the detail part where it'll look like concrete. This looks more like snow right now, but when I get through it, it won't look so much like snow. Quick reminder, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Getting these reflective light on these tree branches is really important, and a purplish blue color makes a really good reflective light color. You can see right there how that bluish. It's a cool color, and I'll come back and I'll put in some bark around that so it won't look so much like snow on there. And then that concrete, it does look like snow, but maybe by the time I get through with this, it won't look so much like snow. We'll just see how this goes. don't forget to subscribe. Sure would be appreciated. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. The next one I do on this thing, it's going to be on a bigger canvas. And I'll put a lot more detail and spend a lot more time on it. I got about an hour and a half in this one. Maybe a little more. But on the big one, there's where I'm going to stop on this one. I'm not going to go any further, waste any more time on it. But I kind of got an idea how I want the composition to look on the big painting. So there we go. All right, guys, love y'all, and we'll catch you on the next turnaround.